So excited to be. We're live on YouTube. Oh my god! Oh my god! Just kidding. Just kidding. Mani, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm awesome. It's a beautiful day.
Yes. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. So feel free to ask a question in the chat. Right. Welcome to our lives. If you're familiar with Mani's and our life, so our life is all about spirituality and how it relates to your relationship with yourself or with others, and about
Yes,
all the emotional stuff, the heavy stuff needing external validation, you
because there's
know,
a lot
low
of
self,
it.
yeah, low self-esteem, right? Low self-confidence. So this is your safe haven. This is your safe place. So we can talk about everything as long as it's legal, right? So money, today's topic. I'm so excited to talk about this topic, right?
Yep. Go
Are
ahead.
you
Announce
feeling
it.
like life? Are you feeling like life is too serious?
Nope.
Exactly. Like, do you sometimes feel like life is just too serious and heavy, and no matter what you do, there's always something to be stressed over, something to be concerned about, right? And you really feel like you lost the wonder and the magic that really life has to offer, right? Like, money, I have to say it, like, seriously. So, what do you think about this topic?
I think it's a really big one because when we're kids, we spend a lot of our time with our imagination. We get bored, we think of ideas, we see the wonder in the small things. We don't hold on
Right.
to emotions, we drop them basically right away. But as we get older, we're expected to take things a lot more seriously and not play as much. Don't use your imagination. You need to be at the grind. Ah?
Exactly.
Uh, um, so, we lose that wonder, we lose that joy, we lose that connection to like just seeing the most awesome things in the most ordinary things. And uh
Exactly.
I remember I we had talked about this topic because you were going to be going to like a little kid's birthday party that was being held at like a trampoline uh,
Right.
building, basically, right? And I was like, take a look at the parents. I want you to see the difference between the parents and the kids because the parents see the kids letting go and bouncing and having fun and laughing. And the parents wish that they could
Exactly.
go that they wish that they could
Right.
recapture
And
that.
yeah, and we'll talk about it later today. And but today we're going to talk about why taking life too seriously can really hold you back, right? And start noticing and enjoy the little moments that really makes life like magical and joyful again. And like taking things too seriously actually can be a major block in your life, and you're not
Yep.
really aware of it. What it's you're not, because you're like on autopilot, always on the go, 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 but you don't really like, like stop and smell the roses. Right? So when you feel like, when life like gets too serious, it can lead to overthinking, like anxiety, like stress, right?
Hmm.
Like taking yourself everything like it's too serious. Come on, you're not allowed to smile, right? And it's not a way to live, right? But you know what, Money? The misconception that people have, they think that if you are like a little bit like playful and like a little bit like lighten up, like don't
Yes.
they think that you are not
Lighten up.
they think that you are not grounded, or you are not grounded, and you can't take, people won't take you seriously, right? And you have like, you just want to live carefree and throw all caution to the wind, but it really that's not the way it is, right? Because like being playful and joyful, this is like just part of life. And I think that the Buddha like have a quote that the purpose of life is just to experience joy and happiness, something along the way like this, right? So this is actually, just watch little children. Just watch little children. You know, they are stress free. And have you ever noticed that you are around children? It seems like you are like, you take part of their playfulness and you give yourself permission to be like, like them. And you don't have a lot of worries, right? When you really like drop down with the child or play with the child, you feel completely different.
Yeah, exactly. It's giving yourself permission just for that moment, sort of thing, to n- just to drop everything that you are basically emotionally and spiritually carrying and get present in the moment with somebody who is much younger and has not been molded, by our,
Yes,
their parents or all that sort of thing. They're still very close to source, right? So, getting close to younger ones like that sort of thing, and reminding yourself of what your connection used to be like before you
yes.
got told who you were. That's integral. So this is, I think, very well timed.
And you know what? And you know what? We talked about it yesterday. Me, people who knows me, my default state is smiling, right? And people like, I get it all the time. What are you smiling about? Like, oh, like, like I have to be like serious, and like I have to be like, like all the time. And but it doesn't mean like me to get to this point I have to eat a lot of shit in my life, right? I have to just to if you know my story, I ran away from home when I was 18, and I suffered like abuse and stuff. So that all those experience just brought me to who I am today. So I don't need a reason to smile. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
I noticed, yeah, and I noticed, money, that like I used to work like in a complex, like a lot of offices, and I knew all the security guards there, and then I good morning, good evening and stuff. And I used to observe like the people that come into the building, and they're so serious with their tie and suitcase, like, oh my God, I'm so serious, like, I'm serious. And like, and there's a look miserable, and the security guards, they're all like present and smiling and like good morning and like enjoying life, right? And I'm sure that those people are making much less money than those like serious people. So how do you explain it? You know what I'm saying?
It's having the acceptance and non-resistance to where you are, the idea that
Mm-hmm.
you are always exactly where you're supposed to be. Now the caveat to that is, you know Mm. Our challenge is to remember basically who we really are. We're not this avatar, this meat suit that we're driving. We are a spirit. We are a soul that is here to
Exactly.
experience these things, sort of thing. Now, here's the clincher. Here's the rub. You get to decide the experience that you have. So if you want to be miserable, you're going to be miserable. Basically that's probably what you picked up, sort of thing, when you were growing up. That was your experience, for the adults around you and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So
Eh,
so
mhm.
this is really important though. we need to we need to take off that expectation. Now what you were talking about, the people in the business suits that are looking very serious and stuff, they are living in the future, right? They're always living in the future because they're in that trap of more. They want more. They need more. They have to
Exactly.
attain more, right? The security guard is just like, you know what? All I got to do is make sure people park where they're supposed to, and they're supposed to be in this building, and that's kind of the extent of my responsibility. And the rest of it is just like, Hey.
Yes, it's more about, no, it's more about, I don't think it's but the job, it's more about the mindset, right? They are more present to the moment, right? They are more present and they are allowing themselves to just be okay with that present moment. You know what I'm saying? And what you just mentioned, we talked about it yesterday, that there's like a disease, right? An epidemic, the more disease. People just
Yeah.
need one more and more and more. There's a song, just more and more. People just want more and more. It's an old song, right? Yeah, she sang the song Money and Love, what they're looking for. Free from desires. That's a song. Just think about it, how powerful it is that you're just free from desire, that you just don't want anything. You just want, to exist. And it doesn't mean that you are lazy or you're not taking action, right? But the more diseases, the more that when you have like some kind of goal and then you achieve it and you like, okay, what's next? Or you like enjoy it for like 2.5 minutes and like, okay, what's next? No, no, no. So what's the point? What's the point? To accumulate things? So where are you going to allow yourself to enjoy those things? You know what I'm saying? Because we are not guaranteed another day or another second on this earth, right?
Yeah.
So if there's like some kind of goal and you just achieve it, so just embellish, just enjoy yourself, stop and smell the roses, be grateful, take a minute. You know what? It's like a disease. You just want more and more and more and more. And you just like, and I don't feel happy. I don't know why I don't feel like happy. And a lot of the time that people that have like a lot of abundance, and I'm not saying abundance is a good thing, right? But they're like just not enjoying it. They don't have time. They don't enjoy it, right? So, you know, we are
Yeah.
we are
We
going to one place, and we can take all those stuff with us. Like, unfortunately,
So I know we talked about this in a previous live. It's we get basically sucked into this idea that collecting, accumulating things is supposed
yes.
to try and help us make feel happy and feel whole, because there is
Hmm.
something inside of us that is just not quite fulfilled, sort of thing. So we get told, oh, retail therapy, I feel happy when I bought this, this bag, or I felt happy when I got this car. Or that doesn't last, by the way.
Right.
um so you're going about it kind of the wrong way at that point.
Yeah.
But
That
that
there's a
ties into
quote.
this.
Yeah, there's a quote. If you want to be enlightened, lighten up, right? Especially, yeah. Are you
There we
a
go.
child, Manny? Are you a child?
Always.
No, no. Are you a child?
Always. Yes.
you know? So yeah. So people have like those misconception that if you are playful and you're just, like a leaf in the wind, you are not grounded, you are not, I get it all the time because people oh, you are like spirituality and stuff. But I worked in a lot of software companies. So I'm pretty grounded, right? It doesn't mean that if you are some kind like have like a like childlike mentality, it doesn't mean that you are less responsible. So it's all about the first step. The first step is to give yourself permission to feel those like emotions that you want to experience. Because why? What is the reason that you want to, like you say, accumulate things, right, and stuff? Because you want to experience some kind of emotion, right? But everything that you experience is just a reflection of your inner being and your mindset. So you have to have this emotion first, right? In order for you to experience it in your outer reality, right? So, like I heard this quote that money don't buy happiness, buy can buy money. Something, but you have to be happy to receive money. Something like that, right? So, and when you're saying happy, of course, we can't be like cheerful and all the time, right? And everything is like rainbows and sunshine, right? But we can, we can like stay like with this like inner joy. And of course, it's a practice, right? It's not just going to land on you all of a sudden without you practicing it. And I've noticed that people that went through a lot, like in on in their on their journey, they tend to be more optimistic and smiling more. And people that that had everything like end over to them, they just don't appreciate it and just like what next. But it's not, it's there, it can be like some of that and some of that, but the real important things is for us to, if you have some kind of goal, right, it doesn't mean that you can be playful. Why pursuing this goal? Why? It doesn't mean that you have to be like serious and like, you know, like, and I bet you, no judgment there, that the people that are taking everything so seriously, they are not people that like, it's really, it's not likely that they wear their heart on their sleeve, or they have like, communicate
Yes.
their emotions and stuff. Why? Because the ordinary, even when you are serious, your body is just so like, you so feel intense and okay,
Uh,
you know. Yes. So, hi everyone. Feel free to ask question
Hello.
in the chat. And you know what, Mani? And you know what, Mani? Also, like, I think it's from the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Obviously, this book had a lot of, it
Influence.
changed really my life. Yeah, a lot of influence. So it changed. Like, if you are going, he was talking about, if you're going to the like African tribes, they don't have a lot of possessions, right? Most likely they go barefoot and they don't even have shoes, but they're smiling, and they're smiling and they are happy. And then you see like someone like, like take someone, with the suit and tie, or like someone from our society, like so seriously, and you know and we have like things that they don't even dream of, right? So how do you explain it? How do you explain it?
I think actually a lot of that has to do with the community that they get raised in. It's not about it's not about wealth, it's not about the accumulation of things. It's about, it's about sharing and uh joining in and being part of, of a tribe or a community sort of thing, so that everybody contributes to everybody else's sustainability. um
Yes,
and that is, I mean, that is, uh how do you put it, like, that's comfort, that is, that is being knit into an acceptance sort of thing, that is
right.
not
A lot of it is
not
the
putting your focus
programming.
into things, right? Yeah, programming,
Yeah,
like you were talking. Yeah.
a lot of it it's the programming, like you said, society, like programmers. Just be a serious adult. Come on, you're not a child anymore. And I get it. I'm not saying to throw caution to the wind, because we have responsibilities and all this shit. And also, it
Mm.
doesn't mean that, while doing those stuff, it doesn't mean that you have to be serious and you have to be. But I guess, like, when you are at a certain point, your parents are going to tell you, okay, now you are an adult, now, now this is life. Yeah, why is everything is so serious? This is
Yes.
life, right? But you know what I'm saying? It doesn't supposed to be like that. It doesn't supposed to be like just that's why when I interact with people, they like telling me like, oh my god, you're like the first. Yeah, I went into like some of the parking lot last week. Oh, you are the first person that I see. You're smiling. Oh my god, this is like so rare, because people they're like, you know, they really think people lost the wonder, and
Hmm.
this
And
is
the
the whole
joy.
point of life.
Exactly. And the
Yes,
being present in the moment. that that is a big thing too. So, when you are when you are very serious,
Thank
when
you,
you
thank
are
you.
when you are future focused, like a lot of the people that you're talking about are, sort of thing, they're not awakened yet, they're still stuck in this, they're told who they are, this is what they need to do, and these are your goals, this is what you need to attain, without ever thinking maybe they want something different. You can be stuck in overthinking, unable to enjoy the moment, like you were saying. You miss out on the fun and growth and connection with others, which is what we were discussing for being raised in a different
Yes,
place. You have, you have different values and you're taught different things. Um, so and when you don't have the wonder of the moment and you're being too serious, you're often overthinking, and it stops you from taking any action to stop the overthinking,
yes, and you
to
know what,
question it.
Manny? Have you ever noticed that those people that like used to smile a lot and used to just so to speak, like go with the flow and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they achieve things more easily and effortlessly rather than the people that are really so serious and they take everything. Maybe they will achieve the same goals, but it they will do they won't really enjoy the journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
by the time they get their goals, they're like, you can really recognize
Miserable.
them. Yeah, they're freaking miserable, right? So you want to sell your soul just to attain this goal. And again, it doesn't mean that if you have like a little bit of playfulness and light energy, it doesn't mean that you're not going to achieve the goal that you had in mind, right? This is just like a misconception. And of course, society, like there's some kind of an agenda that you be all grown up and serious because, they want you out of the creative mind, right? They
Yep.
want you to use your linear mind to solve problem, which we all know, right? Like if you're
Exactly.
new to this, we all knew that our conscious mind can really solve the weird problems of life. Maybe you can solve like math problem when you're a student and stuff. So they take all your creativity, right? And I think that it's a thing because when you are not using your creative force, you feel depleted and you feel like it's not fun anymore, right? It's not
Yeah.
fun.
So you're given these goals, right? So you go to school, you get good grades. You go to, high school, get good grades. You go to college or university, get good grades, and you dedicate yourself to the field. And all of a sudden, 10 years goes by, sort of thing, and you have reached the end successfully of where they told you need to go and what you need to do. And now you're just like, okay, now what? Like, I thought I was supposed to be happy and fulfilled at the end of this, and I'm just lost and feeling a little
Right.
resentful because that comes into it as well, right? Yeah, it hits you like, "Oh, no."
Yes. Yes.
So then you struggle to enjoy the achievements because you're focused on, what's next. Well, when
But
you're
you know what? But the paradox is that from the first place, we started to pursue those goals or whatever because we want to experience like certain emotion, right? Of joy and, but I think that we talk about it, but that's a topic for another life that most of the time we just do things on autopilot since we are children, like you said, like a two
yeah,
hour just to please other people, just to please our parents, without even like considering our own needs and desires, right? And this like yeah, and this is like the autopilot that we are programmed to please others, to please society, to be a member of the society. And I'm not saying right, I'm not saying otherwise. Don't get me wrong, but just the way to achieve it is like sort of a distorted way, right? to do things to please others, to accumulate things and to pursue things and goals without even enjoying along the way, right? And when you have some kind of goal, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be like, just a leaf in the wind or without any goals. You can't have goals, right? But when you want to achieve these goals, it's about being present in each moment, right? So what do I have to focus on right now? What is the little thing that I can do right now? And I'm going to do it while I'm present and while I'm, as much as I can be like joyful and just in harmony, just in peace, in harmony, yeah, with the present moment, like Diana is saying, right? Peace and harmony. So, so it's all about that. And you know what? And when you really present to the moment with each step, the result has a tendency to take care of itself.
So
And
when you think about it, like you get closer to source. You
yes,
when you allow yourself to not take things so seriously, when you put yourself in that mindset of a kid of, you remember you used to play hours in a sandbox, with like some digging toys or whatever. You'd make hills and you'd make like bridges and gullies in the whole 9 yards. And that was, I mean, you were in the creating mode. You were using your imagination. You were being, a kid sort of thing. You give an adult, like, here, go spend some time in the sandbox, and first it's just like it does not compute. They blue screen on that, like, what am I going to do in a sandbox? Like, it doesn't contribute
yes,
to my accumulation of things or my next goal or whatever it is. This is one of those stop and smell the roses, learn to slow down. Because society
right.
teaches us to be responsible and serious and always adult, and we get the intrusive thoughts, past experiences, we keep replaying it in our heads. Like, these are things that
Exactly.
separate us from where we were when we were very, very pure and close to source when we were kids. These are
Exactly.
the layers and the expectations that get put on us, and taking things seriously, it becomes a habit, and then you don't know who you are without that. Your identity
Exactly.
gets
And a
tied
big
in with
part
it,
of it,
right? So
yeah, and a big part of it, like Diana is saying, when you want to please everyone, you know, you actually abandoning yourself. And a lot of the time, like, let's talk about it for a minute. When you want to please others, what? It's because we have like a fear of being abandoned by others,
that's a big
right?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we end up abandoning ourselves and our needs and our goals. And of course, we're not going to be happy, right? Of course, it's not going to be happy. So there's like one small step that you can start doing right now, to feel like more of a like childlike, mindset and energy.
Because this
Start
is
to be,
important.
yes, start to be curious about things. Have you ever seen like a little child? Mom, why is the airplane in the sky? Why is that? Why is that? Why? They are so curious because when you are curious, you are being connected to to a playful energy, to a wonder, right? It's like everything is wonderful, everything is magical, right? Everything is like
Hmm.
you're seeing everything for, there's a practice that I started doing, like when I'm like walking down the street or whatever in the same, familiar place. I'm telling myself, just imagine that you're seeing everything for the first time. Like, wow, oh my God, those flowers, and oh my God, this beautiful store, or, you know, just so it's something that you have to deliberately to start implementing because no one is going to do it for you. What? That's why, yeah, like little children, exactly. Yes,
Yes.
right.
Yeah. And again, here we go back to being present in the moment and noticing the small things before you started taking them for granted. I was out on a walk on my lunch yesterday, and it was temperate, it was nice for a walk, not hot, not cold, and there was a breeze that was coming out of the north, and it carried scents on it that I was smelling, going, wow, like that smells a little bit like, this smells like flowers, or this smells like, one of the restaurants across the way is cooking like a really nice meal, sort of thing. And then, the smells of, oil, gasoline, rubber on tires, a flower coming out on a tree. It's just all of these things, these sensory things that we forget about and that we just layer over as not important. Like, these are things that bring you into the moment and remind you you are not who you were told you were going to be.
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah,
those things are the most important. And again, I'm not saying to go back and be like a little kid, like I'm doing anything, like,
I am.
yeah, you know what? No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, of
Yes.
course, we have responsibilities and stuff and things we can, like, but like you said, like, literally, like, I love, like, okay, so, what am I doing? I want to be like a child, like, to have this childlike energy again, right? So, like you said in the chat, right? Flowers, yeah, like fooling around like money, right?
I'm a big kid. I'll own it. I
Yes,
refuse to be told who I am. Thank you very much. That's my jam.
yes, like those things that like money. You told me yesterday. Yes, like innocent, like those things, like that you like doing when you were a child, like watching a cartoon that you really like,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
yeah,
these
good.
are things. Okay, so I'm I mean, I'm jumping way ahead here, sort of thing. But I challenge everybody, basically, because this video is going to find the people that really need, this is going to speak something to them. They're feeling very down, very depressed, sort of thing, or just very blah, and you know they wish that they could feel that wonder again. I give you permission to go back and you know be that close to source kid. If it's reading a favorite book that you had as a child, to put you, just bring you back into that mindset. If it's listening to music that you used to hear when you were younger, sort of thing, that just takes you back to good memories. If it's playing a board game, anything like that, sort of thing, like
Exactly.
this. I give you permission to go back and experience that again. Take off the layers of who you were told you were before, when you got really serious and the whole 9 yards. Get back in touch with your playful nature, your joy, the wonder at simple things that we take for granted: the sun rising, the breeze rustling through the trees, how blades of grass are growing, sort of thing, how the leaves dance in the wind. Like, it's just, have joy and
Exactly.
wonder in the small things. It's not
Like use
crazy.
your five senses. And like
Yeah.
Diana is saying, like being neutral, of course, because everything is fundamentally neutral, right?
Yes.
I think it's just Shakespeare. Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking make it so, right? So it's all about when you are neutral, you also neutral your thoughts, right? So you are more present because you are less in the past or in the future, right? So again, when you are present to the moment, you can allow yourself, you can, your sensory ability is it's right.
Yeah.
It's higher, right? Rather than you are just when like people just watch people when they're like in a hurry or like everything. Oh my god, they just don't. They can't really see what's in front of them, right? Then
Yeah.
just with their phone, and they bump into people, or they're like, sometimes it's like, I'm telling you, sometimes I'm telling you, like, I've seen like people, there's so much in their head. So if they like have like, I don't know, like a naked woman walking, they don't even notice. I'm telling you, they can't telling you. They're so like, So yeah,
Oh.
so yeah, so being neutral, it's the start. So let's bring our audience tools, right? So being present, right? So like literally smell the roses. Like literally, if you see like a flower, this is
Yeah.
what I used to do. Like in the street, there's like a lot of flowers. You can see like bushes and stuff, right? Just smell. Or go to a flower store. Just just come into
Yes.
flower store and just So okay, be curious about things, right? Be
Mhm.
curious about things, or give someone a compliment, right? And I made a live about it like this week. But like I'm reading the book, Countdown to Wishes by Rhonda Byrne. She's the one that wrote The Secret, right? It's an audio book. So she's talking about mood shifters. Mood shifters are like things that you can use like immediately to shift your energy. Like if you're feeling down, and of course I'm not saying, right? I'm not condoning being like spiritual bypassing when you have to feel good all the time, or you are not allowed to feel like those. But no, if you're like having a bad day, or it doesn't matter what you try, and you still like feel down. So just embrace this emotion and let it be for a while, and it will subside just by embracing and accepting those emotions. But if you're like, okay, Limor, I want to shift it. Okay, I acknowledge this emotion, but stay. So she's talking about mood shifters. So mood shifters are things that you can do like immediately to shift your energy. For instance, like listen to a favorite song, right? Like
Mhm.
watching a scene of your favorite comedian, right? Talking with someone that is like having like a playful energy, or just talking to someone that it's very really optimistic and really lifts you up all the time. Just being around children. And if you don't have like access to children, you can walk outside, go to a coffee shop, and I promise you, you will see a little child with his mom, or while waiting on or on the line of the grocery store or whatever. What you will see a little child that you can interact with, or to say, oh, how cute it is, like you will have access to it. So going to nature, right? Going to nature, like, and I said it all the time. I think it's from Tony Robbins. Emotions are created by emotions. Just move. Do you see like little children? It's really rare to see little children not moving unless they have like a device on their hand, and they're like with an iPhone or something. But otherwise, you will see like movement, right?
Yep.
Because movement
They're
is a
always
form of
moving.
energy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, so this just hits me as an idea is being uh being a little more childlike and getting into that mindset of, wonder and joy sort of thing. This brings you back. It doesn't just bring you back to the now, but it brings you back to your authenticity, your authentic self.
Exactly.
And this is it's one of the best things that you can do for yourself, to put yourself in that kind of
Mhm.
mindset. You improve your creativity. It's just, it opens up so many doors, and a lot of people are afraid to go back to using their imagination, or playing with stuff sort of thing, because they think, oh, people are going to think I'm crazy, they're not going to take me seriously. That is
Exactly.
that is the rub, that is the key clincher. You have to basically not care, and some of your best ideas will come from when you are traveling, uh, uh take you walk out in nature like you're talking about, sort of thing.
Exactly. And
So
a lot of the time, people will judge you for it, right? I'm
so what
telling
does
you,
it
like,
matter? What does it
yeah,
matter, honestly?
once a week, I admit it, once a week, I ground myself. I have like a favorite tree, right? So I go and I lean on this tree and I just standing like barefoot for a few minutes and afterwards I hug the tree. And at the beginning, like there were people that I really, I don't want them to see me, but now I'm like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, those trees are the reason we are alive. They give you oxygen, right?
Exactly.
So how
Exactly.
can you not be grateful for those things? They are a part of you, right? How can you not be grateful for the sun? The sun keeps you alive.
That it's all just a big old cycle, and we kind of are taught to ignore it. But so the practical steps to lighten up, we're going to take a few minutes every day to do something playful or fun just for you, not for anybody else, just for
Yes,
you. um don't be afraid to laugh as well,
right.
even if they are like little kid gag jokes, sort of thing, like just on a very basic level. Not everything needs nuance and all of these
Even
higher
when
functioning things.
even when you are with yourself, you can make yourself laugh from, even when
So
you are with yourself.
yes. Yeah. So you can notice small things, you can laugh at your mistakes, don't take them so seriously. Everybody makes mistakes, and then we do.
Everyone.
When they make mistakes, we do retakes. We redo them over, sort of thing. It is not the end of the world like we are taught it is, that we're taught
Yes,
perfection over progress. So we're going to laugh at yourself. We're going to embrace imperfection, because we are perfectly imperfect. We are works in progress. We are messy masterpieces, and it's amazing.
yes.
And
And like a little child, when he start to walk, and he's like, it takes time until he learns how to walk. So everything like it's like he's falling down and he's like smiling and stuff. And you're like, no, oh my God, no, no, no. You have to be punished. No, just act like, but at a certain point, no, people are not so generous with you, right? Why? Why?
Oh, so, do you
Yeah.
have, I'm sorry, when we're gonna have to go, I'm gonna have to go soon, unfortunately. So, we want to invite you to reflect. So, what's one area of your life where maybe you're taking things too seriously? And, you know, what's something that you'll do this week to bring back a little of the
Comment
childlike
below.
wonder?
Comment below. There's one
Yes.
thing that you're going to do this week to be more in a childlike energy, right? If you're
Yeah.
watching the live or the replay, just comment, right?
So,
We are challenging you right now. We are challenging you right now.
and I love this one thing that we were talking about the other day. Life is meant to be lived, not just survived.
Right.
That
Yes.
is amazing. Lighten up, let go, and notice the little wonders around you. The glimmers, the super cool things. It doesn't matter how basic it is. Just let your mind expand on the whole, like, oh my gosh, when it snows, think about it. Every single little tiny snowflake that comes down is different. They're not
Right.
the same. They're expressions of frozen water coming from the sky in these little individual, like, wow, like, does that not just blow your mind a little bit? That's the wonder. Like,
Yes.
that is the
Yes.
recognition. That's putting you in the moment. So, yes,
Yeah.
and you
So
don't need to have it all figured out.
Diana is saying that she's going to learn to smell the roses more. Yeah. So and we all need those reminders. It doesn't matter how spiritually evolved we are. What we just tend to forget them, right?
Mm,
So we're going to dare you, right? Do just one
exactly.
small, do one small thing just to lighten up this week, right?
Exactly.
So, yes, so we want to thank everyone, right, for watching. And if you're watching the live or the replay, thank you for engaging in the chat. And we appreciate it so much. We are so super grateful for you, right? Thank you, Marnie. Marnie, yes. Seriously? Seriously, Marnie?
Hold on. It is the Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the horse, and of course, I gotta
I
you
like
know I
it.
gotta I gotta have these wonderful, nifty little things, sort of thing that
Of course.
keeps the
These
mind where
are
it's
the
supposed to be.
reminders. These are the reminders. Yeah. So
So
thank you, everyone. We appreciate you so much, Manny. Let's do our little heart here.
boop, there we go. Ta-da!
Yes.
Thank you, Lamora. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody. We'll
everyone.
see you next
We
week.
appreciate you.
Mwah.
Much love. Bye bye. We'll see you
Bye.
again next week.